Hello! Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Johnny Baghead, as always. That's probably a terrible catchphrase at this point, because I'm not always here. I'm rarely here, to be honest. Admittedly, life's been busy, lots of stuff's been going on, but I miss doing the little streams on my own little channel here. And, going through the PlayStation 2 library. Good games for once. I've missed doing that. So that's what we're going to do today. This specific stream is a long time coming. I had originally planned a while ago to start a different playthrough. But I want to do a one and done today. And it'll be tied into something. Something that has changed. Something new that I do have. Which I'm going to grab here. Sorry. New. So, what do I have that has changed things recently for me? I brought one of these. Oh my. Yes, your boy, Johnny Baghead. He's all on getting the latest technology. And I brought the PlayStation 4 VR headset, which is 10 years old now. And, yeah, guess what? If you get, when this released, this was free, like over £300. I got mine for £25 with like £5 to £10 shipping. So, perfect time to get one of these. And also, most of the games, especially physical copies, also dirt cheap now. Usually, like somewhere between an average of £5 to £10. But the reason I got this has been something I've been thinking about for a while. We've done, we do a lot of classic survival horror, and we've gone through the Resident Evil series. And, at some point soon, we'll get to Resident Evil 7. In terms of, like, the mainline ones we've got, it's pretty much, it's remake, original Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, which I don't think I want to do all the way through. But I really, I've played Resident Evil 7, but I've never played it in VR. And on PlayStation 4, it has an exclusive VR mode. So the idea was like, oh, that would be the fun way to stream it. I know I'd be, late to the party, but it was a lot cheaper to be late to the party. And, I've been, for like the last couple of weeks, going a bit wild, checking out all the VR stuff. In retrospect, it's interesting, like, getting into this hardware and this gaming space, 10 years after it came out, because you actually see that it actually did have a lot of support. There are a lot of games for the PlayStation VR. A lot of them, granted, are multi-platform ones that would have come out on, the Meta headsets and the Steam, the Oculus Vive, all those. But there are a lot of exclusives for this, and it's interesting to see which publishers would make like full games, full experiences or original experiences, and then which would give you like a mode that would last you like an hour and stuff like that. But yes, at some point, maybe this year even, there will be a Resident Evil 7 stream, and it'll be in VR. As you can probably guess, there won't be a camera, because you wouldn't be able to see my reactions anyway. But, look forward to that. But, this brings up another point for a game that I've been meaning to play through. So, when I got this headset, this is, again, a used headset. It did come in the box, but it didn't come with any of the packing games or anything. No, it did have all the manuals and things like that. But interestingly enough, at some point, they just added games that if you plug a PlayStation VR headset like into your console, you just get for free. Because I haven't had an active PlayStation Plus subscription in years, right? And you have to be adding those games monthly. So if you're like unsubscribed, you can't be adding games. So I don't have that. And your accounts section actually separates where PlayStation Plus games are. But when I had this plugged in, I was double checking my library to see what games I already own that had VR modes. And yeah, a couple are just in there for free now, and one of them specifically is Rez Infinite. And I messed with that a bit, and we'll talk about it later, but, you know, Rez is one of the early PlayStation 2 games. It's one I've never played properly. I've maybe messed with a demo. I know it's one of the early, like, cult classic ones, but I know it's short game, so I thought, we'll do that. It'll be a one and done. We can get it out the way in ranked, and then also I have a couple games from Bad Game Hall of Fame streams to rank. We can get those done, and then we could figure out what games we're doing in the future. I still have Wipeout Fusion to finish, and I'm putting it off because I enjoyed that game, but I got to a point where like I played enough of this game. It's run its course because yeah, we'll get to it. But yes. Oh, 1 sec. Okay. So yes, let's get to the game. Here we go. But yes, here is. Just a touch. But yeah, so Rez I've never really properly played, but I have played some games related to it. Specifically, the mind behind this is Tetsuya Mizuguchi, and I know him from the Lumines games. Lumines I love. Look, when it comes to games with diegetic music that, like, gameplay and music that's tied together, not just rhythm games. No, that's not what I mean. I mean where your actions change what's going on in the music. It's obviously being into music, writing music, and all playing music, all that. That's a bias already. But I find making your gameplay tied to music is such a it's like beyond immersive, because obviously there's nothing like that in real life, but it makes stuff feel more tied to your actions, you know, like the fact that you are essentially doing what, you know, like you think of a movie or TV show where music is composed to the action, to the editing, and diegetic music gives you that in real time in a way that you could never replicate in any other medium. You know, it's one of the things that makes video games a special medium, is it can do this and other mediums can't, because they aren't interactive in this way. But Lumines, I'm a big fan of. I looked up his history. He also did the Space Channel 5 games, Child of Eden, which I believe is like a spiritual successor to this that came out on the Kinect, and the most recent one that's done well is Tetris Effect, which also has a VR mode. I need to check that out at some point. But we're gonna try the PlayStation 2 version. Now, this isn't the original. I always forget this, that this was on Dreamcast first, because this was like a Sega game originally, and Mizuguchi was at Sega for a long time, working on like Sega Rally and things like that. But we're going to play the PS2 version. Now, just a heads up, I do not have the trans vibrator. It is probably the weirdest bespoke game specific accessory you can get. It is a small device. It's like about this big, I think. And it is like just rumble. Like, think of what the rumble is in like a DualShock 2, right? It's just that put into its own little device, and then it has like a little cushion thing you put over it, and it just plugs into USB. I believe it like maybe is more, it can vibrate stronger or has more sophisticated rumble than the controller. But they're very expensive, and they are weird. Even the creator admitted that it comes off like a sexual pleasuring device. Oof, didn't think we'd talk about something like that on stream. But yeah, I don't have that. And unfortunately, You can't use other controllers to replicate it, which I'm bringing up because Rez Infinite on PlayStation 4, you can, and that'll be relevant for later. But yeah, let's go through this. Also, so we've done streams with the RetroTink 5X before, but I do have something new today. Is oh crap, I always forget what they're called. Let me see if I can find the name of them. I think this is it. I think they're called Retrovision, but I got higher quality component out cables. The past couple of streams where I used the RetroTink, I was using RGB over SCART, and that was pretty good, but there was some noise in the picture that I wasn't happy with. That maybe you wouldn't be able to see on stream that much. These component cables over the RetroTink, this is the cleanest signal I've seen out of real hardware. It's kind of nuts to look at. It looks so close to running these games in like software rendering in an emulator. It is kind of amazing how clean this looks. We'll get in the footage here so you can see. But we'll just quickly go through the how to play here, though I do mostly know how to play. But just, do our due diligence. With the ranking of PlayStation 2 games, I do the tier list. By the way, if you type ! tier list in the chat, that will link you to the most up-to-date version. But we like to try and go as thoroughly through a game as possible. Well, within reason. Like, not really multiple playthroughs unless it's like the kind of game that it's that short it counts. But explore as much of the content as possible. It's not about like rushing through a game. So we'll give this a look. But yeah, so this is a rail shooter of sorts. I guess the game it's most like at this era of time is the Panzer Dragoon games, which mainly I've never played, but my understanding is they have a similar feel of like you flying through a space and you're using this like lock-on paint the target mechanic. The main difference though obviously is this is all tied to the music. And yeah, I know, yeah, Overdrive just starts automatically shooting stuff for you. But you also, yeah, you're trying to like level up the character by doing good clears, and that makes like the health in spawn. And then this is how you advance to the next level, is shooting these.
3, 2, 1.
What lies at the dark end of this network? This game actually does have a decent amount of story. It, like, if you read the manual and things like that, but in game it's all kind of abstract and concept album. Like, this is what this essentially is, because like the music's all different composers, and it's all telling a story about like entering this network. Yeah, we'll watch this little intro bit here because this is relevant. There we go. So first track, Buggy Running Beeps by Keiichi Sugiyama. So here we are. I think technically, I think this gets more if you start getting into like the score tax side of the game. But you do want to try and get enemies in one clean combo. A, because it clears them out quicker. But I think in terms of like getting bonuses and things like that, there we go, get that. I think I might have been a bit too slow there. So yeah, it's like hold the button, then release, and then all your shots go. And you get up to 8 you can lock onto. This game's also a reminder that controllers used to rumble like a lot stronger than they do now. I think just because controllers have so much like weird esoteric functionality and hardware in them, they've gotten a lot more fragile. And anyone who's like used a controller from like PlayStation 4 onwards will attest to that. They seem to just break way more often. There we go. Oh. So, one minor complaint I have with this version of the game specifically oh, I might have messed up. Is you can't really mess with the cursor speed. It kind of feels like the cursor speed was designed around not everyone having an analog controller. Which is maybe weird to think about, but you know, some people would sometimes buy PlayStation 2s used, and would be using like an original, like analog PlayStation 1 controller. Oh, there was an overdrive there I missed. But one thing that's noticeable in this version is that it can run at 60 FPS, but depending on what's going on the screen, it definitely will drop down to 30 sometimes. Like, more often than not, kind of thing. But yeah, it kind of feels like if you wanted a faster cursor speed, you don't really have that option. Yep. But yeah, you'll definitely see I'm missing some enemies. I'm probably not getting all of the level ups and things like that possible. And that, I'm pretty sure, is where like the score attack and like perfecting your run stuff comes in. Oh hey, we leveled up though. Oh yeah, straight up, I think there are enemies that you can get in this first level that I missed. Yeah, there you go. See, there's the frame rate drop. Still, love the way this game sounds, just the style of it, the aesthetic. But it's funny because you're like, on paper, it sounds like a simple game. It's just one button hold, let go. You know, just move the cursor. But it definitely gets into like some, you know, if you're familiar with some, you know, rail shooter aspects of, you know, learning patterns to, and like really in predicting where enemies are going to come from and things like that. There we go. So yeah, even though, you know, like I said, Dreamcast originally came out on a PlayStation 2 here, you could definitely see it's like still somewhat limited by the hardware. I believe the first updated release of this that actually ran at a locked frame rate was probably the Xbox Live Arcade version. Because that's the funny thing, like, this game is actually quite small. You know, made for Dreamcast, so it would have come on a CD. Or, well, GD-ROM, but, you know, essentially a CD. But yeah, you can see the percentage of stuff I missed. Missed by... I don't know, Protocol Rain by Missed. No, I'm not sure if Rez HD, that version, has anything, like, potentially missing. I think I might have missed a upgrade already. It is funny having messed a bit with Child of Eden. I think my sister had it because she had the Xbox 360 Connect at the time. Like, it is just this game. Like, pretty much. Even has a similar, like, cyberspace story from my recollection. Yep, get the overdrive. Oh, managed to get those guys. They're still. There we go. Nice, nice. Oh. Like, it's funny because it does mostly run at 60. Just doesn't completely run at 60. Oh, oh, that was close. Yep, leveled up. Ooh. From what I understand, getting hit levels you down. So ideally, in the campaign, you want to go like as far as possible without leveling down. And as you saw, like your levels carry between as well. Oh wow, I'm not even a person anymore, I'm just a weird ball. Oh fuck. Adverts, of course. Part of me kind of just wants to completely turn ads off. I have it set up so all like pre-rolls don't happen, but Oh, I got hit, I think. Oh, fuck. Level down. Wasn't quick enough. Shit. God, this is harder than it looks. Crap, I've leveled all the way down. Shit. Well, lost on that stage. Okay. 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 One sec. Oh. There we go. Yeah, doing these levels like flawlessly definitely seems to be where the real challenge is. Okay. I feel like I've done something not quite as well because I haven't had as many of the big. I haven't had any of the big upgrade drops yet. Maybe that's because it's like I'm continuing. Fuck! I got hit. Okay, well, at least I got a level back. Hey, welcome to the stream, Joe Real. Just vibing, resin out. Oh, oh, that was close. Joe says, I've heard people talk about Rez for a while, but for the first time I've actually seen it. Yeah, for a long time I always heard about it. But yeah, never like properly looked into it. I mentioned this at the top of the stream, but the thing that got me into doing this playthrough was that when I got the PlayStation VR for the PlayStation 4, this game was just auto added to my library. The PS4 one, Rez Infinite. Oh yeah, I've always heard Jeff talk about how cool this game is. I specifically remember hearing there was some version of the game he played where they put like a giant like vest on him that would vibrate with the music. I think that's when he tried it like out in VR. Which we'll talk more about that version, but there is a way you can kind of simulate that at home. Oh, yeah. Again, we'll talk about it. But I have played this in PlayStation VR, and yeah, it is kind of amazing. You know what? I think this time the encounter's easier because I'm not as leveled up. Okay, well, I didn't mess up this time. I actually turned around. So I guess, like, what evolution you're on, like, affects difficulty. That's interesting. Okay. So I guess you feel like if you beat the game with no continues, like, that's the... Because, yeah, that's the thing. I've always heard this game's quite short, and again, it even got like an Xbox Live arcade download version, which shows you like how small it was, because that's when they used to have ridiculous file size limits on downloadable games. I will say in this version, it's sometimes hard to tell when your combo is at max, like when you've hit the 8 auto locks. Just because of the like the combo thing like overlaying. Oh no, level down. Okay, I gotta be still careful. Whew. Okay, well, I beat it at least. Didn't keep my level, but yeah, I've reached the end of this subsystem. Hey, look at that. So, analyzation, I believe, is those cubes, the ones that count down from like 8 to 1. And yeah, there is a separate score attack mode. Right. Ken Ishii creation, the state of art, parts 1 through 6. It's only showing 4 there, but I believe in total there's 5 tracks. I could be wrong though. Oh, we have got different counting now. Oh. There we go. So yeah, so I think like some of the support items, the level ups, the overdrive, stuff like that, you get for clearing out waves as a full combo. Like if there's 4 of them, like in all 4, or things like that. Also, Minnie's climbing all over me right now. Minnie? Hello. You gonna say hello to folks out there, Minnie? Hello. What are you doing? Huh? Sometimes when I'm on the chair, she just is like, oh, it's hangout time. Something about it just makes her really sleepy. If you're gonna settle down, you settle down there. There you go. Yeah, you can't see it that well right now. I might have to move my camera a bit. At some point, I should probably upgrade so I'm not just using like a camera like mounted on my, well, not even mounted, but just on my monitor. Okay, 2 overdrives. Oh, that was close. Also, when it gets to like a certain season, Minnie likes to start trying to sleep on my desk, even if there's no room to sleep on the desk. Minnie, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I get it. Hang on. She's rubbing on the desk. Why are you rubbing the desk? That's it. I think she's just upset she can't sit on the desk right now. Funny enough, she's been on my windowsill all day. Probably because the sun. Enjoying the sun. Hey, Minnie. Hey, there. Yeah. Oh. There you go. See if you can settle like that. Oh, almost missed that. Speaking of, there's cats in the level. I see them. Well, you can't sit there, Minnie. That's literally in front of the computer and on top of my computer mouse. Okay? Look, there's so much room over here. You see over here, Minnie? There's a whole bed here. Here, look. If I take my hoodie I was wearing earlier, spread that out for you. Maybe you'll settle on that. I don't mind her sitting on the lap. It's just when she's like fidgety and climbing on things. Oh shit, I got hit. Oh fuck, I got nuked really quick there. Oh. Either it's me being a chill, or maybe it's because sometimes when she's hungry, I don't think she knows what to do. I think she's chill now. It's funny, because it's like, if you've not seen me all day, Minnie, that's your fault for being on the window. Oh, I got a big level up from that. So, yeah, I don't think it's random, but I feel like you do affect what waves you see, depending on certain stuff you do. Okay, so what do the levels do? So yeah, so the ticks on the bottom left, that's your like evolution. So not only does it change your physical form, it also gives you hits you can take. So like the higher evolution you are, the, you know, like you'll step down in evolution if you're hit, but obviously if you've got a lot of hits banked. But I think it also affects the difficulty, because the first time I did the boss of level 2, I was like highly leveled up, because it you know, in the campaign mode, it carries your levels like through like a continuous playthrough if you're able to play that way. And I think it might, like... It probably affects score in the score attack mode, I bet. I don't think it enhances the way you control, though. Like, I don't think it gives you better shots. But I could be wrong about that. Oh, fuck, I missed that one. That was... I did not have a lot of time to get that. How did I miss that? Ugh. Oh, I missed that one. There we go. There we go. Back up. Oh. Oh, shit, I didn't see that one coming. Could you play this with light guns? Okay, so not officially. But it is funny you mentioned that. Because the PlayStation 4 version in VR, I don't think you could do this without VR, but you can either aim with head tracking, so just aim where you look, or you can use a PlayStation Move controller. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta be more on the ball. Fuck. These levels actually do get a lot harder. But yeah, if you use like a PlayStation Move controller, that's kind of the closest to like controlling with a light gun, I guess. How did I miss that one? When I mess with it, I use the mode where you can use the PlayStation Move and your head, which I think worked out best. It sounds weird, but it kind of means that you can do like broad aiming with the way you look, and then use the move to do like corrective aim. God, I might really look into just seeing if I could just completely disable ads on the channel, because I don't really care. Like, yeah, if you want to support me, I'd rather they just subscribe so they can get emotes. You know, that's at least something fun.
7, 5, 4, 2, 1.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Oh, Flame Will, yes, you legend, I did. You must have missed the stream. If you go to my VOD channel, I have a stream where we mess with them for a while. The cinders have been amazing, for real. It is as close to, like, using an actual light gun on the CRT I felt with a non-light gun based thing. It is really cool. And you'll also be seeing over at the Bad Game Hall of Fame, we do some rail shooter light gun based stuff, and you'll probably be seeing some of that soon in the like next couple of weeks. But I do plan on doing some other stuff, like specifically like Crisis Zone, because I've never fully beaten that game. There's a couple of like PlayStation 2 rail shooters. I really want to do a day where I go through the entire Time Crisis series. Problem is, I don't have a working PlayStation 3, and unfortunately, Time Crisis 4, though it does work in emulator pretty much fine, if you emulate the GunCon 3 to use a Sinden, it breaks the machine gun. It makes it so the machine gun only fires when you let go of the trigger. So if you want to, so you can't do rapid fire, because while you're shooting rapid fire, it makes the sound. It doesn't leave any bullets. It only leaves bullets when you're letting go of the trigger. And that's if you play it either the original release or the Time Crisis Raising Storm release. It's some specific bug with how that emulator emulates the GunCon 3. The only other option I potentially have is to use the version, use the Time Crisis Raising Storm version that lets you emulate Move, but then it's a bit more complicated to set up Move emulation, and there'll be a cursor on screen the whole time. That, or get a PlayStation 3 fixed. We'll see. It depends which one gets done first. Obviously, if I play it on PlayStation 3, it's a bit awkward because I'll have to like swap systems midstream and swap over to using the GunCon 3s, which are infrared base tracker ones, and they're kind of weird. But I would really like to do like a marathon stream where we just go through all the mainline series. I would include Project Titan on that. I think Project Titan on PlayStation 1 gets a bad rap because it came out quite late. There is also 2 games on Android and iOS. And yes, yeah, the GunCon 3 is not ambidextrous. It's fine if you're playing like the standard mode, but if you want to play the terrible first-person shooter mode, it's yeah, not ambidextrous. But you can use the GunCon 3 also with the single player like console only mode that Time Crisis Raising Storm has, which I believe also plays like a first person shooter. Okay, Flamewheel saying thankfully you can just play the arcade version of Time Crisis 4 and you'll miss out. So yeah, okay. So I've looked into it. Time Crisis 4 arcade can be emulated. It does not emulate at full speed currently. In fact, it runs pretty poorly. It also has a bug where all of the in-game dialogue plays at like quarter speed. So everyone slow down, like that. It's a shame because it does sometimes hit 60 FPS, but it's still inconsistent. There's only one emulator that does that specific era of Namco Arcade, which was like a slightly zoomed up PlayStation 2 based system called Play! And I don't know how much it's being actively worked on. It's the emulator got added to the Techno Parrot package, but I don't know how often they're like adding updates to it. But like I said, you can. Emulating Move might be the way to go. The only problem with that is it can have issues with the multi-cover mode. So in the multi-cover stuff, if you're using a GunCon 3, because you can map the right stick to the D-pad on the Sindens, that you can use that to swap cover. Because the aim left and right off the screen stuff doesn't seem to work very well in emulator. Maybe there's a way to fix that, but I'd have to look into it. But we'll see. But yeah, I've got plans. Specifically, I think with the Sindens, what you might see soon on the Bad Game Hall of Fame is it's probably going to be those terrible House of the Dead remakes. Okay, fuck this part. There we go. Oh yeah, or just getting an actual... Well, like I said, it's the idea is I want to do it as part of a marathon stream. So it would be going through all games, like, in a row. No, maybe I won't do it. It depends, though, because there is also, like... Time Crisis 3 has the... On the console version, has the extra mode where you play as the Resistance lady. Oh! Oh, that was close. At some point, I need to actually figure out, like, how long it would take to do them all in one stream. Because I might be setting myself up for a task that I can't do. We'll see. Oh, welcome, I think that's Illalaps to the stream. You played the PS version of this and really liked it. The PS4 version. Yeah. When I've beaten the game, we'll talk about that version, because I've also played that version. But for my PS2 tier list stuff, I like to play the, you know, the original versions for the ranking. Okay, we're in a good spot. I have at least one extra level for the evolution for the boss. Okay, so I've got to be more observant on this part. Oh, yeah, your evolution level definitely makes these boss encounters harder. It puts more targets on them, for sure. Okay, I'm going to overdrive. It's a bit early, but... So I guess, like, the hypothetical perfect run where you're getting to, like, full level would be very difficult. The thing is, I've not got it working, but I do know... Oh, I should have looked away. You can also use the Sindens to emulate a joystick on PC. So that kind of gives you a bit more functionality with games that don't use a mouse cursor or whatever. But I've not gotten that working yet. Some of the config for the Sinden, like getting it working on MAME, takes more work than I was expecting. Thankfully, the Sinden wiki in the Discord has like a lot of instructions and prefab stuff, even if like some of their guides are a bit out of date. They've definitely got to update their PlayStation 2 emulator wiki page, because it's using like the pre-2.0 version when it was still plugin based. Oh. Okay, we're still alive. Okay, so I didn't actually realize that this game had, you know, oh, your evolution is like your difficulty level. That's a thing to pay attention to now. Okay. Okay, there's definitely a strat in certain areas to like spin the stick. But yeah, I kind of like that some of its like systems and stuff aren't directly just explained to you. Like there is some amount of player discovery, but I don't think it's so obscure that a player couldn't figure it out, you know? Oh, I was wide. I wasn't done there. So yeah, shot down 97, 75. That's pretty good. Yeah, 93% of support items. I imagine that means I was probably only missing like one or two, because it's not like you get hundreds of them. Yeah, player of 4. Score attack area 3 unlocked. Artist Jewel Joker. Rock is Sponge is the name of this one. Alright. Oh yeah. Wait, did I not get that health? I could have swore I auto-locked on it. Oh, whatever. Good, got it this time. Okay, there's a good audio cue on this one. There's a good audio cue when those missiles are coming for you. Wondering where you were. The game's music, it depends. I really like the first stage music, and I really like this one. But you know, it's all because it's all mostly tied to like your game action. see someone thinking this is a bit too simple. Okay, I have a feeling that phase I might have been able to get healing, like health items if I like let them combine and killed them all like in one shot. Oh, that's interesting. You can kind of lock on to stuff that's like off screen a bit. I have to remember that. Some of the tracks are definitely like slower builders, but I really... I don't know, something about this one really speaks to me. Okay, leveled up again. I'm actually doing pretty good at the levels up right now. Okay, yeah, we did really well. Got to the boss, didn't take a single hit. Oh! I could definitely see, like, the criticism of music here, because it's not really music you would listen to outside of the game. Oh, okay. Okay, that might be a complaint I have, is the game's not always clear when you can, like, 360 turn the camera. It does mostly turn the camera on its own, that's the thing. Oh. Oh look, it's a running man. It's weird, like, most of the camera movement is not done by you, but when you're in, like, certain sections, you can, like, look behind you. Funny enough, I think if you play the VR version, that version actually has a different option where the camera control is mostly done for you. So, like, you know, to help with potential motion sickness stuff. Oh, I got hit. Shit, how do you not get hit there? Oh. Okay, I think I get it. Oh! Fuck. I was so close. Okay. Oh, I missed a fucking overdrive right at the start there. That's a little brutal if you do game over. It's the kind of game that I'd almost expect to just not have like a proper game over system even. Okay, I'm learning some of the strats here. There we go. We definitely got more items by like focusing on their weak points there. I don't remember the name of it, but there was a game that I've always been curious to check out. Harmonix made a shoot 'em up that had like diegetic music like this. I mainly remember it because the like PlayStation 4 Amplitude had a track from it that I really like. But I never remember the name of that game. They will say, so in an effort of trying to fix my ears, I've ended up running up. Oh. I feel like I have worse issue with like earwax than other people. I guess I haven't asked around because it's like a gross thing to talk about, but I feel like I generate it at such a rapid pace. A city sleeps. That's it. Thank you, Judge Real. Yep. Okay, I'm definitely going to try and save the overdrive. I definitely used it too early. Oh yeah, you Lou got... I feel like I've tried things that you're supposed to use to clear earwax, because I know cotton buds you're not supposed to use, and they don't work. And water never fucking helps. Oh, another fucking hour? I thought they were only supposed to be like every half an hour. I think after this stream, I might see if there's a way I can just disable them. I don't think you can, though. Maybe you have to be like a certain... You might have to be like a partner, like maybe affiliates just aren't allowed to. Okay, I think the secret with this boss is to, at certain points, you actually don't want to go for the extras. They're kind of what block your hits. Obviously, at some points you just can't help it. So it's a shame that this version can't do lock 60, because it's... I was on the impression it was like mixed, but it's actually mostly 60. It's only very occasionally does it like drop, and it's mostly in the boss fights too. So yeah, when it's in like that kind of human form, the glowing parts are what you have to hit to like cancel the attack. I used my overdrive there, but I think it was worth it. Oh, he's still got me. Oh, come up, we're so close. Oh. Hell yeah. Okay, we actually kept an evolution, so I'm really happy with that. Whew. It gets intense, this game, actually. It's funny, because you play the first level and you don't think it. Joe, you're saying, looking at this, I don't really know what the story of the game is, but I feel like there's some real life stuff here. I believe you're technically, like, hacking. Okay, so I actually do have to redo Area 1 because I didn't get 100% synchronization on it. But I believe you're supposed to be unlocking... Here, you know what? Let me quickly get the manual up. And I'll quickly read the backstory. Here we go. SegaRetro.com has it. Actually, I think there's a better site. Yep, here we go. Here we go. So this is the story from the manual. The world has become... You know what, actually? I should be able to have it so y'all can see it. Let me... Boop. There you go. So let me read this here. The world has become massively overpopulated. The rapidly expanding network society has been crippled by high crime rates and is on the verge of meltdown. A new system, Project K, has been created in an attempt to resolve the situation. At the core of the system is an artificial intelligence center named Eden. Eden has more advanced AI than any machine that has ever previously existed. It has the ability to process vast amounts of information at once and to use that information to form its own uniquely advanced independent thoughts. Some would say that Eden has even developed a consciousness. However, Eden became confused when the flow of information being sent to it began to greatly increase in speed and volume. Eden started to question the meaning of its existence and the consequences of its actions. Finding itself surrounded by paradoxes and realizing the power of autonomy which it possessed, Eden began to shut itself down. Now you are about to travel into the cyberspace of the Project K network on a mission to reawaken Eden. You must gain access to each area and level of the system, destroying any viruses and firewalls you encounter. Open your senses. So yeah, that's your story. What do you think of it? It's this is why I mentioned Child of Eden. I think it's like almost the same idea. because again, it's Eden. I believe that's also about like an AI consciousness. I think it might be something like a person's consciousness was digitized. Oh no, thankfully this is not LLM AI. God, this first level just seems really quaint by comparison now. Yeah, I should have remembered that you have to get all of these these things, the zone transitions, to unlock the final level. The manual actually does say that. Yeah, wow, this first level is so much, like, chiller. Oh, welcome to the stream, Van Arctic. Let me read that. Used to play this in Ikaruga on Dreamcast. Yeah, again, I have to always remind myself this started on Dreamcast. For some reason, I always associate this as, like, a launch-era PS2 title, which it was. But, you know, it's a port, so... It's kind of a sad story, though, of, like, Eden realized its, like, job of processing information sucked, and that they couldn't solve all the problems, and was just like, well, I'm done. I don't know if I've ever played an Ikaruga game, actually. I'd have to think on that. I'll have to look and see if there's any kind of, like, must-play shoot-em-ups like that on PlayStation 2. I like if you mash the shoot button, you'll just get claps that will time themselves to the music, even if you're just mashing the button at your own timing. That's the thing. Though I'm friends, and you know, my content's quite similar to a lot of console challengers, especially the ones who do PS2 ones. I'm definitely not planning on doing like every PlayStation 2 game, every power release, anything like that. In fact, I try and play like the NTSC versions where I can, so we get like the proper frame rate. But you know, I'm always open to, like, if someone has like a really good suggestion for a game, I would consider it. Actually, something I'm considering doing, because I know I'm not going to do the whole PS2 library, and there's going to be some games that I'll be like, okay, I know this is not for me, I'm not going to rank this. I'm not going to do Unlimited Saga for fucking 200 plus hours. I actually want to expand into the other 6th generation consoles, because I'm a big fan of those as well. But it would specifically be ranking games that are like exclusive to that console in that generation. So like even if they got re-released, or like for example they're playable on Xbox One backwards compatibility, I would still count them. Because the list of PlayStation 2 exclusives is like too long to rank, personally. But I am thinking of, you know, doing GameCube and Xbox as well. I just know that when I would do the tier list for them before getting into like playing new games, they would be very short streams. There aren't too many exclusives on those consoles that I know I could rank. But still. Because yeah, even though I do every so often expand into like more modern releases and things like that, it's such a small part of my channel that at some point I should probably just more focus on this generation. But like I said, you might, outside of just Resident Evil 7, you might see a couple of like PlayStation VR things. There's a lot of cool games on there that like not enough people talk about. Plus that way I can put like Phantasy Star Online on a tier list because that didn't come out on PlayStation 2, only Phantasy Star Universe. Which I only messed with a little bit. I don't know what the consensus on that is, especially it's like, you know, single player mode with all the dialogue and set characters. That will, you know, that will show up on the stream one day though. I'm big enough into Phantasy Star that I would want to look at that. Oh, that was close. Oh, the PSP one? I actually hear some cool stuff about the PSP Phantasy Star games, and the DS one even. It's funny, because most of them are in the Phantasy Star universe, like canon, but I think like one of them is in the Phantasy Star Online like original. Heck, I'd even consider doing PSP ranking, because that's a system I got into late, but I still have like kind of like secondhand nostalgia for. I've actually got like somewhat of a library for that. There's some really cool, like, exclusives for the PSP. And in some cases, even if they did get PS2 versions, they're not the versions you would want to play. Oh yeah, the Dissidia games. I think I only briefly messed with it. It was a demo that didn't explain itself very well, so I didn't understand how to play it. There we go. Look at that, we're all leveled up. So I think I should have like the full sync now. Yes, analyzation 100%. Yeah, definitely miss some enemies still and some support items. But I think this unlocks the final level. Yeah, play Area 5 unlocked, yeah. Ooh. Slower, this one. By Adam Freeland. Alright, here we go. Ages ago, life was born in the primitive sea. Oof. Young life forms constantly evolved in order to survive. Yeah, like, in a way, this is like just a concept album made like playable. Oh. Got hit. Got my level back. Some prospered, some did not. All sorts of life ebbed and flowed like the tide. Did Oh, I'll have to look into that. Radiohead did a VR thing? I could see. One of the weirdest VR things on PlayStation VR is there's a, quote, Kingdom Hearts experience. And it's just like, oh, do you want to watch some light shows? Like fireworks, like laser light shows set in like Kingdom Hearts locations. It's the strangest thing. I guess what they were trying to do was like emulate like the light shows they do at like Disney World and shit like that. But it's not really a game. You watch a cutscene from like a key point in the series, but like as if you're Sora in VR. In the quiet rhythm of Mother Sea, life grows. But, you know, it's not a game. It is just a sit, listen to cool music, and it seems, I'm just gonna outright say it, it seems like a perfect game to play in an altered state of mind. Let's just say. Oh, a kid. Oh, it's Kid A. Okay. I'll have to look into that, especially if it did get a release on PlayStation 4. Always seeking to survive. This is a very different song. I like it. Okay, there's only specific missiles that hit you here. Oh, PS5. Okay, yeah. Hey, having used the PlayStation 4 VR headset, I definitely will get a PlayStation 5 VR headset someday. Probably will be a long time away, though. It might straight up be 10 years after it came out, like the PlayStation 4 VR, because fucking old-ass console that keeps getting more expensive over time. It's the stupidest fucking shit. I get there are some real-world issues that are outside of Sony's control, but at some point, like, you've got to just absorb the cost. Like, who the fuck is going to buy your system? There's that whole... I don't know if it's been officially confirmed, but the report... Soon life began and advanced towards land. Oh, so yeah, we're like going through the stages of evolution, I guess. I mean, obviously, the thing that we call AI currently, not actual AI. It's not artificial intelligence, it's just like machine language, like, you know, it's just copying and pasting information. It doesn't get context and nuance. But, you know, obviously a big dream of humanity is to create, you know, outside of, you know, like creating a new sentient life form. So obviously we can have children and those, you know, your kids are sentient, but as in like, that's still a human. That's not a new life form, as it were. Oh, I just missed the health up there. Mass extinction came wave after wave. Oh, again, it's some Death Stranding territory. Yeah, algorithms, yeah. Like, it's unfortunate because the word AI has just... its original meaning is so confused now. Because tech bros and whatever use it the wrong way. Oh, horses! It's interesting I'm still getting the health nodes because the health bars just disappeared.
Killer, the mind.
You're hoping I'd fight the horses. That might be more Child of Eden. I remember Child of Eden, like one of the stage bosses was a giant space well that you like help ascend to heaven. That one gets even more trippy. And funny enough, I actually do own a Microsoft Kinect. Anyone who's a long-time regular Bad Game Hall of Fame member will know that. Oh, okay, so that's how you get leveled down. Someday the next great immigration will occur. Oh, wasn't quick enough again. Oh yeah, Project fucking Milo. Oh yeah, it is wild looking back on that Microsoft tried to present that as a real thing. It was apparently it's like a slightly more like there was a version of it that did exist, but the demo they showed, like none of that was real. It's one of the reasons I do kind of lament the loss of E3 was the bullshit. Yeah, there was a certain amount of excitement and hype around it, but it was just like, you know, the live, you know, being live meant that there was some amount of chaos, like things could go wrong. And just like the weird tone and energy. And now it's all just like pre-recorded events and stuff. Like it's just not the same. I hold within me the memories that all are past. Who am I? Oh shit, I should have activated my overdrive there.
Killer.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm a baby now. Who are you? I'm the baby. Gotta love me. Oh god, this is... Yeah, this has gone way harder suddenly. Okay. I got one health item there. Don't come any closer. Oh yeah, it's a boss rush. That's what this is. Oof. There we go. It's a good thing I got so much overdrives. Why? Well, you know, because it's letting me get through these fights. Yeah, I figured I had to take these red bins out. Shit. Oh, I was so close. Aren't you afraid? Oh, hello again, Minnie. She's on my lap again. Hang on, Minnie. We've almost beat the game, okay? Oh, fuck. This bit's getting hard. Oh. No! Oh, hey, Minnie! Why do you always have to hit the mic? What do you think it is? I don't think she gets what a microphone is, to be fair. But, you know. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, shit. What a weird phase. Oh, one sec. It doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot of holding the X button down a lot. Hey, Minnie. Look, there you go. Have some pets. Little pet, 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 pet. Look, I put this here for you. Here. It's not like you're locked in the room. The door's open. But there you go. You good? You good, Minnie? We got you seated? Ugh. Maybe. I gotta be really careful because I think I could take like one hit. Oh, there we go. Oh. We can rebuild her. Stronger, better. Oh, really? Oh, fuck. If that was it, there's no way to continue. Shit. Yeah, that's just a bad ending. Well, I'm not happy with that. Well, I missed a lot of support items in that final level. Hang on, do they... If they don't let you... Hang on, let's see. Okay, good. Alright, let's give this one more go. I think there's definitely some parts we can improve on. Again, it definitely seems like what evolution you're on does make certain things harder, so I might have doomed myself by coming in like that high level. I definitely took a hit on one of these gates that I could have avoided. So that I at least want to do better at. I imagine it's like the score attack mode where trying to get the highest levels is what you want to do. Hello again, Minnie. Look, if you want to, you can if you really want to sit on the desk, Mini, I'll have to make some room for you. You'll have to sit there. You can sit there. You'll be covering my stream preview, but fuck it. Oh, fuck. If I take damage that early, I think I need to... Okay. It's not the quickest restart. Oh, you fuck... Shit. Yeah, at least it's quick enough. Once I get to the boss rush, I wouldn't restart. Not even sure what happened there. Yeah, that was good. Okay, really good start. Okay. Good so far.
The mind.
Yeah, what I might do is when I get to the boss rush part, I might take a very short BRB. Because I think many probably want some food. And I can take a very quick business call while that's happening. Oh, excuse me. Wish I was getting more health, but hey. There's a mind killer.
Is the mind killer.
There we go. Wonder if there's a list of what the music... Oh! Whatever. There could be, yeah. If you... The first place I would check is whosampled.com. But sometimes when it comes to video game soundtracks, people on YouTube will be the ones to do that work. I don't know the name of it, but I have a really... It's an old forum, but it does get updated every so often, where people were tracking down what sound libraries video game music would use. Which is where I learned all the Tekken 3 music is from a sound library. And once you recognize that, you hear the guitar riffs and bass riffs that makes up the Tekken 3 soundtrack everywhere. So many games in the 90s and early 2000s were sampling that. House of the Dead, Capcom vs SNK, Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's legitimately a huge list of games that are just all using those samples. It was that early era. Oh fuck. I gotta be more focused. because I guess I could have overdrive there. I've got to get better at using the overdrives when I can tell I'm about to get hit. And not just saving them. There we go. That was pretty good. Okay, Minnie has settled down on the hoodie I put down for her now. So that's good. We're back in our babby form again. Like, yeah, there's a... I wouldn't have to look it up, but I watched a really good video that covered, like, where all the samples that's used in the Sonic Rush soundtrack are from. Because that's Hideki Naganuma, who's super huge on sampling. Fuck, okay. I tried to save it there, I was not quick enough. I actually... Like, how people do music... Fuck. Just with sampling is like kind of magic to me. I really don't know how people can just know so many sources and just think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sample like this weird sound. And I can turn it into like it's the weirdest stuff sometimes that people will sample. How did I not hit that? Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, concept of love is sample spiritual activist. Sometimes, though, it's because stuff gets... Like, they're not sampling it directly from the source. It's because they get put into other sample libraries sometimes. Like I watched, I forget his name, there's a YouTuber who's done some really good, like, deconstructing like Fatboy Slim music. And Fatboy Slim himself has actually like gotten in contact and like explained stuff. But in some cases, he, like, you know, Fatboy Slim's come out and said, yeah, I didn't know where this was from. This was just in a sound library I had access to. And right here, right now, is that audio sample is from like a movie. For example. This one I should definitely be able to avoid taking too much damage on. Just gonna be on top of taking out these ships. I call them ships, but they're just weird triangle trapezoid shapes. Okay, this phase I understood more better this time. Oh, okay. I leveled up and got at least one of the overdrives. Okay, this got to be locked down. I think when there's projectiles coming at you, it's sometimes best to go for the shorter combos. Again, I'd only really played that first level. It is oh shit. Okay. Pretty good, I think, for this part. 2 overdrives is probably nice. I don't know if you can get health pickups during this fight, though. That's what I'd really like. You know what? I am going to take a very quick BRB, because I think it'd be good to take care of that. So, just... Yeah, I will not be long. Give me like 2-3 minutes tops. Okay, let's get a... Whoa! There we go. Yep, took care of things. Got food for Minnie and Ginger, the other cat. Oh, oh, that's close. Okay, good. Didn't take any damage. Oh, hey. Okay, I gotta keep an eye out for that. I got a extra overdrive. Okay. Okay. I was thinking of using the overdrive there, but hey, we've still got time. Oh, nice. We've got a hill. We're doing it. We're giving a corporeal form. Okay, so you can get health mid-fire. I was just not paying enough attention that first time. Yeah, for this bit, I'm just going to overdrive. Seems like the safest bet. Oh, we're doing it. I want to read that comment, but it made me laugh. So, you know, you got that over me. Oh, did we do it? Yeah, I think I did it. Okay, that fight is not as hard as I thought it was because there's fins you can aim for that will keep dropping like items for you. There we go. I'm gonna assume that is the true ending. Let me just double check. Because it doesn't hurt to double check. Let's see. Get 100% shot down in stage 5 to see the proper ending to the game. Well, I don't know if that's what I did. We're gonna have to see. And then, yeah, there's a boss rush mode. Complete the direct assault trance in the beyond mode. Infinite overdrive. Oh, you can unlock different viewpoints, including first-person view, by getting first place in the score attack stages. So unlock the direct assault mode, which is all levels and bosses tied together. Play area 5. Yeah, trance mode. There are beam types to unlock. But there is actually a lot. Oh, dedicated to the incredible creative soul of Kadinsky. Thank you, Kadinsky. Who are you? Oh, yeah, see, we did not get the true ending. I figured. Yeah, I get the feeling that yeah, my shot down was not even close to it. Yeah. You might... Oh, okay, here we go. So the harder bosses. To play a harder boss version of the boss in all modes, shot down percentage of at least 98%, and cleared all 10 layer levels in an area. Have a little more life, have a stronger version, at least one of its attacks, and will score more points. Okay, so my Yeah, so yeah, this is just the regular this. Man, getting 100% shot down. Seems tough. Oh, welcome back, No Draft 1. Yep, I haven't been streaming for a while. So I get the impression like maybe getting the true ending, you might want to do these other modes. Oh, not Giraffe asking about the trance vibrator. No, I did briefly look into getting a copy of this game with the trance vibrator. It costs a lot of money. No. I've been, you know, co-hosting over at the Bad Game Hall of Fame, but I haven't done a stream on this channel for a while, just because we've had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so we've just been very busy. But I really wanted to get to one. But yeah, I'm reading the game FAQ page for this, and yeah, it seems like there's quite a lot to unlock. So this is an option menu you can unlock where you get like bonuses. And I think this is how you would get stuff, right? And then you can also get different unlock different viewpoints in score by getting high scores in in score attack modes. We've got Lost Area. So Direct Assault is redo the entire game in one run. That's what that is. But you can also get different schemes by beating Direct Assault mode. And then that will unlock like different color schemes as well. And yeah, so I think you can unlock Immortality and Infinite Overdrive. If that lets you do it in the normal mode, then that's probably the best way to get the true ending. What is Cosmic Smash? Hang on. Let me... Because I assume that's not this. Oh, interesting. There is a reimagined title called Z Smash VRS that is on the PlayStation VR 2. I guess this is like the prototype version of this. I'll have to look into this. I've never heard of that game before. But we'll quickly check out the Lost Area. It was the same guy, was it? I didn't see that when I looked up. Let me double check. Because maybe I just missed it. Let's see. Let's look at Rez again. Tetsuya Mizuguchi. Okay, at least he did it. Maybe someone else who worked on Rez as well, because that was when he was still with Sega. But yeah, because it, you know, it could take potentially a really long time of grinding and stuff, I'm not going to go for that true ending, at least not in this version. Especially because of how I'm going to rank this, because I do know where I'm going to rank this. Oh, shit. Great start there. Very different, this bit. Like, ooh, frame rate. Now this music reminds me a bit of how like Child of Eden. Shit, that was quick. Let me try it one more. You know, because I want to see it. I'm gonna turn on. Yes, Lumines. There you go. Nodra says this reminds me of Lumines, the music at least. This is the producer who went on to do the Lumines series, as well as Tetris Effect. Let me turn on the points display so we can see how it works. Yeah, no. I think Sony just published specific versions of Lumines, but it was never owned by Sony because there was a version like it's been on loads of platforms. And it's also weird because there are some Lumines games that have released that Mizuguchi didn't work on, like the Vita one, or at least Wikipedia doesn't credit him, but they might just miscredit him or something. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the games were on PSP, but there is a PS2 version of Lumines, for example. But I think there's a 360 downloadable version. Okay, yeah, so this makes it very clear how the scoring system works. Where you get the most points for like... Oh, shit. For locking on to as many enemies at once as possible. But no, I love Lumines. Lumines is one of my favorite like puzzle games. Just straight up. Oh, this is a hard stage though. Let me give it one more go. I want to at least get on the leaderboard. Though I'm not sure if there's anything for actually doing this mode. A lot of the unlocks seem tied to the score attack modes and the direct assault. And then we'll get to the game ranking stuff. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting to know, because in some cases, like, for survivability... I've definitely found it's better to not go for the ×8 lock-on. Okay, there you go. I got on the leaderboard at least. So yeah, I don't know if getting a higher score in this mode gets you anything. But it's good to know, because yeah, I wasn't sure like how much extra content and unlockables there even were in this game, and seeing that the score attack mode has like tons of unlockables. But, for example, like, if you wanted to go for more score, you might want to let these enemies, for example, shoot their missiles, because that's an extra thing to lock onto and multiply. Oh, there was a health upgrade I missed. I do wonder, like, how hard it is to get that true ending requirement, though. Oh, that was weird. I just picked something green. Maybe that's a score thing. Ah, there we go. How do we do that time? Hey, first place. B, A, G. Beyond transmission unlocked. Hey, look at that. Oh, look at that. We only just made it. Well, we've unlocked this, so we might as well have a little look. A visual and audio overload state with no danger to the player. Alright. The fuck? Yeah, this is a weird one. I guess this is just have a little trip mode. Yeah, maybe this is a mode for take some mind-altering substance of some sort. Biscoff. I don't think this is an endless mode because, you know, the visuals are music's changing. Yeah, okay, it's when you... I don't know, the music is kind of nightmarish though. I'm not sure if this would be a fun trip. They called it trance mode, but it's not very trancey. Getting some like prog rocky kind of soundscapey stuff. Weird printer sounds. Ah! Nightmare! Nightmare! Yeah, no, you would not want to get in an altered state of mind in this mode. Holy shit. I think the description was right about like the onslaught of sound and visuals. Yeah, it's still changing. There's still new stuff, new sounds. Ah! Why did they call this trance mode? It is not very trancey. It is noise music. What is this? Eye dosing? God, that was still one of the funniest moral panics over nothing. The idea that there was fucking like weird audio you could listen to emulate the effects of drugs. Binaural audio or whatever. You never heard of it? Mega64 did a video on it a long time ago. That was like a parody of like anti-drug PSAs. But they'd also that was just like a general running joke of theirs for a long time. Like they'd do like audio eye dosing sessions on their booths where they'd all just like play the fucking binaural audio and like pretend to be like tripping out. It's funny enough because when I think about it, it's kind of a precursor to what became ASMR. If ASMR was like not based on like specific human actions. Okay, I think this might just loop. I think trance mode might just loop. Let me just double check. Because I can just go res trance mode. No. Whatever. It's everything about the fucking trance vibrator. I should have left that game. Transmission. Okay, let me. Nope. No, Google doesn't know what that is. But yeah, so that shows you your unlocks. But yeah, if you do this direct assault mode, you unlock new color schemes for that. And yeah, there's some stuff tied to... There's some unlocks tied to these as well. These score attack modes. And I believe traveling is just lets you go through the levels. Practice or just chill out, yeah. But I do wonder if the upgrades that I read about on game FAQs, if that carries over. You know what then? We'll leave that running. just let it go. But yeah, I think we're going to rank this now. Because it seems like getting that true ending probably takes like a lot of practice and grinding. And I think my decision about how I'm going to tier this is going to explain why I would not keep playing this version specifically. So let me just get... Yep, that's ready. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. There you go. So yeah, here's the tier list. This is... How long ago was this where we last updated this? This was updated, like, Christmas, pretty much. Unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately I haven't had a chance to do streams in a while. But I think that's the last time this was updated. I could be wrong. But yeah. So, let's place Rez first. We're going to do Rez first. I think this is going to be a very easy one for me. We're going to do play elsewhere. So, why is this a play elsewhere? Simple enough. The up-to-date version, like the various re-releases, but specifically Rez Infinite, outshines this original version. You've got locked 60 FPS. You got the visuals fully upgraded to HD. And Rez Infinite has an entirely new mode that is not on rails. It's like a free, like you can actually fly around. I haven't messed with it yet. But it has, yeah, like extra modes, more music. It is, as I mentioned, VR compatible on both PlayStation 4, 5, PC. So you can play it on a lot of different platforms, right? Also, controlling it in VR, I think, is the best way to play it. The stick movement in this feels limiting because, like, the fastest you can move the stick feels too slow. And that's probably intentional to a certain extent. But it feels... like, it does kind of feel like tuned. Potentially you aren't playing this on an analog stick. Like, maybe you could play it on D-pad. But I just legit wish that the cursor speed in this version was better. And yeah, if you're playing in VR with a Move controller, where you can look and aim... like, you can aim both with your POV and the Move controller. You just have a level of control that you don't have in this version. Or the 360 re-release. But also, one of the coolest... this is legit one of the coolest parts of that PlayStation... of Rez Infinite. Is... so if you wanted the additional vibration on PlayStation 2, you needed the trance vibrator, right? And that's very expensive now. It's a weird peripheral. It was, like, limited run, right? In the updated version, you can just use additional controllers. And you can, like, sync multiple extra controllers. And I've played this game, like this first stage, in VR with just one controller on my lap added that does its own vibration. And that added to just the immersive and just like how absorbed into this world it feels. There's great comfort options as well. Like, and again, you know, it's fully compatible without VR. Apparently the PS5 version actually updates the new area. It's called like Area X. In the PS5 version, it's like even more enhanced. But this is a game that is just like so perfect for what VR can do for gaming. For like just this, the weird sense of being in the space. And again, yeah, like the control method. Like, this is a game actually where having a mouse or a motion control equivalent of a mouse is the way to play this game. And I'm pretty sure this does not have mouse support. Maybe it does. I'll have to double check. Actually, do I have my mouse on the desk still? Hang on, let me check. Oh, okay, not that mouse. That one doesn't work. Okay. I'll have to get back to you on that. I have 2 spare USB mice. And one of them doesn't work on the PlayStation 2. It like freaks out. I have to get like the older one that I was using for a long time. But I assume this doesn't. I'll have to double check because this came out Dreamcast and that had a mouse as well, so it could have. There's a chance that this had mouse support, but again, the frame rate, when the frame rate drops, it really hurts. Not only like the visual aspect, but the gameplay as well. Like, it makes it really hard to react in those bosses. Like, you really want this game with a locked frame rate. So, yeah. But, I do have a separate tier list. So, this is the Play Elsewhere tier list. This is something I added at some point. Because I wanted to indicate to people, okay, if I rate something, oh, you should play it on a different platform. How good is the best version of this? I think I'm going to put Rez in great, especially Rez Infinite. Rez Infinite would be a great for sure. Because if it was just the main campaign, and even that bonus bit, but there actually is like a lot of content to this. And it shows you that you don't need like a long campaign to have an amazing game. Like, I think just the game's main content, like being able to replay it, like there's an actual high score challenge run aspect to it, but just because it's such an audiovisual trip, and the fact that on Rez Infinite you can use the additional controllers to make it like a physical experience as well, that you can like feel the music, like that's special. Like, it's you're touching into more senses than most games do in terms of like integrating gameplay to it. So I'm confident saying that this is a great one, right? Oh, we got to the boss finally. So that's my placement for Rez. Great game, but yeah, this PS2 version is it just, you don't see this often, but the re-releases absolutely replaced this. Just made this obsolete. Like, I wanted to do this version for this stream, but like, yeah, if I ever play this again, it'll just be the PS4 version. And it'll probably almost exclusively be in VR, unless that Area X one is like a bit too, like the motion's a bit too extreme. But I think I've mostly got my VR sea legs now, and I found that if certain games cause me trouble, I have travel sickness tablets, and those seem to do the trick. But we have a few more games to rank. I see Jodriel saying, "Can't believe Shadow the Hedgehog isn't bad." Oh, that's going to be on the Bad Game Hall of Fame at some point. Sharky in particular, I believe, really does not like that game. But yeah. But what we have to place is we have 2 playthroughs of PlayStation 2 games that were done over at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We have Virtua Quest, which was, I believe that was a Patreon voted playthrough. I actually don't remember what. Oh, that was the fighting game, non-fighting games Patreon tier. I still love that title. It's so clunky. I love it. I'm gonna put Virtual Quest in mid. I don't think it fits in the just bad category with a lot of this other games, because it does have some redeeming qualities. It has some decent music. It's great to see the Virtua Fighter characters and actually talk and have a bit more going on, because in the actual games they have so little dialogue. All the story is all in like implied and in the manuals. Being able to like see them talk about themselves and all that stuff, really cool, right? But yes, like some of the music is interesting. The combat has some potential. Like there's some ideas there. You can have fun with it. It just isn't quite fully formed. And also just the motion capture direction in the cutscenes is hilarious. It's Clock Tower 3 levels of just, I don't know what's going on, and I love it. But it has forced platforming it doesn't need. Like forced grinding it doesn't need. Like a story that really does not justify its connection to Virtua Fighter, and a really weird art style. It's a middling product to me. However, Catwoman, easily just bad. I've not played every single one, but in terms of superhero movie tie-in games for the PlayStation 2, it is the worst one I have ever played. The only game that is in contention for just as bad is maybe Batman Dark Tomorrow on GameCube. But that's a bit apples to oranges, because that game suffers in very different ways to Catwoman. And it's funny because Catwoman is very easy to summarize why it's bad. It is, what if Prince of Persia Sands of Time was terrible? Because it's just trying to be that game really poorly. And it is wild that it apparently, you watch the credits, it had like over 100 people working on it, which was like very rare for the time. And it feels like a game that maybe like 20 people worked on. It's like somehow really low budget for how many people worked on it. Super unpolished. Really punishing platforming, just clunky design, nonsensical progression. Obviously that movie was a mess, but it's like a really bad retelling of the movie. Like you can barely tell what the fucking plot is. The only thing that's like graphically okay looking is the model of Halle Berry's Catwoman. Everything else in the game like looks weirdly odd. Like some of the animations look so basic, like shit you'd see on like an asset flip on Steam kind of level of like weird looking. And like the music is also weird. Like most of the levels don't even have music. They're using like just like ambience, or like, oh, there's a music that's playing off someone's radio like down the street. Like boring levels, like boring color palette, just all round bad. And considering the fact that it is boring, hang on, I'm gonna turn the game down a bit actually. Considering that it is boring from Sands of Time, it like gets every aspect of how Sands of Time plays completely wrong. Like it doesn't understand what made its level design, its platform, its combat, like any aspect good. So yeah, hands down, easily, just bad. Like, any version, because, we played the GameCube version, but I'd also played the PS2 version my own time. They're basically the same. Same with Virtua Quest, I played both PS2 GameCube versions. Again, not much difference. Like the GameCube versions don't have, like, much better looking graphics or anything like that. So yeah. And hey, that's the fun thing with the Bad Game Hall of Fame streams, is that we will sometimes, there are games that I would not really consider playing on this stream that end up playing over there and get tiered. And, most of them are going to end up either in mid, just bad, or bad but good. But it's fascinating to find out which ones are like, this is bad, but it's worth playing, honestly. And it's like, I can't say it's a good game, but it's fun. Especially if you're like into a certain, je ne sais quoi. Ooh, je ne sais quoi. But okay, so that is where the tier list is gonna stand today. Only had a few games to tier today. Virtual Quest, Catwoman, and Rez here. And yes, the main thing with Rez is play Rez Infinite. Even if you don't have VR, like whatever platform you can get Rez Infinite on, that's the version to play. For sure. Like, it is just a actual upgrade of this version. It feels like probably what the true vision of this original game was. And yeah, we'll have to play the PlayStation 2 Lumines at some point, so I can tier that. But yeah. Oh, fuck's sake, an ad break? Oh. It's good I set up the Stream Elements bots to announce those, because the Stream Manager doesn't always alert me. Oh. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, obviously you see these segments and you don't see the advert, so I think at the minimum, I wish that the way the adverts worked, you could still hear the stream. I'm fine with them doing the thing. You don't get the ads? Maybe you just maybe you have a really good ad blocker, and hey, that's fine. I don't mind. Like I said, if you want to financially support the stream, there's gift subs, there's a direct donation button, or you can check out my throne. That's all linked below the channel. And pretty much everything on Throne is stuff that will benefit the stream. You know, it's equipment or controllers or just like things to help with the stream. So check that out if you do want to support the stream. That's always going to be the way to go. And I don't, like I said, I'm tempted to find out if I can just completely disable ads. We'll find out. Probably not. We'll find out. Because I think a minute and a half at a time is too long. And every half an hour doesn't sound bad, and then you stream for like 3+ hours and you realize, oh wow, that's like 7-8 ads. That's rough. Well, not even ads, like ad break periods. But yeah, let's head back. Oh, there we go. They changed a bit how the audio stuff works, so muting it for the stream and muting it for me is different. But yeah, no, that was still a great time. And yeah, definitely, if you liked what you saw, check out Rez Infinite on whatever platform you can get it. At some point, I will play through the game on VR. Probably not on stream, because obviously you've seen everything. But every so often in the Bad Game Hall of Fame Discord, that's the game room, I stream VR stuff on this. So, check that out. It is still wild to me that I got this for like £25. And this is actually the second model that has some upgrades. So it has the these earpieces, which I don't use too often because I find the earbuds uncomfortable, but they clip into the system around the back here, and they have little storage bits. They made the cable thinner, like the main like video power cable. They put the audio options, like the change headset like volume and the microphone mute button, they put it on here. And if you have a HDR TV, the little processor box supports HDR pass-through. And I think some other like minor tweaks. But I've been having a lot of fun with this. And like I said, we'll see Resident Evil 7. And there are a couple of other horror games like exclusive to PlayStation 4 VR. So there's a chance I'll look at those as well. But we'll see. But yeah. Going forward, I need to make sure I've got this set written on my Twitch page. But yeah, there's no set schedule right now. It's just when real life and stream stuff like coincides that I have some time to stream. I do want to try and push to do more streams. They're going to be these earlier times, not what I used to do, which was like evening UK time, kind of midday to mid-afternoon US East Coast times. But I would like to try and stream more on days where I've got nothing going on. So that would be like a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But, you know, don't hold me to it because I'm usually working on something on those days as well. I have to think what the next PlayStation 2 playthrough is going to be. I do need to get back to Wipeout. I do need to get back to Wipeout Fusion. I will briefly talk about that actually. So, Wipeout Fusion is the main PlayStation 2 Wipeout game. And it is... I had a feeling that its campaign structure, like it being like a GP kind of simcade, upgrading car system, was very different from the rest of the series, because I've only played like later games, and yes, turns out, yes, that's totally it. I'm more familiar with like Wipeout HD onwards. Turns out Wipeout HD and the DLC is a compilation of content and tracks from the PSP games. I don't think it's everything from the PSP games, but it's essentially in that style. And that's definitely the Wipeout I prefer. Also, I gotta say, Wipeout Omega Collection in VR, fucking amazing. That's the only way I want to play that game now. Like, I don't want to go, like anytime I think about playing it, it's like, no, it's, VR's the way to go. Like, your track, the readability, like, how well you can read the tracks from the cockpit view, which there isn't a cockpit view if you're not playing in VR mode, is, like, it's such a better way to play and see that game. And, you know, it's also just looks great, sounds great, has all the content from Wipeout HD, Fury, and the Vita game, actually, like, in, like, proper visuals and frame rate. Because that was always the problem with the Vita one, was just, yeah, it looks good, but it runs, like, poor. And for Wipeout, you want those games running in, like, a great frame rate. But I do want to finish Wipeout Fusion's GP mode and then check out, what's it called? I always forget what the, like, infinite speed up mode's called. But it's in that game. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm blanking on it. But that's the completion I'm looking for in that, is to unlock that mode. Where it's like the infinitely speed climbing mode. And then we'll make judgment on that. You have to get to basically 25% game completion. And that's the wild thing with that game, is that we're like close to beating the GP mode, and we haven't even beaten like a quarter of the game. Because all the other modes, like the combat modes, time trials, all that stuff, that's all in a completely different part of the game. It's structured so weird. That's why I put it off for so long. It's just that, like, at a certain point, I got tired of that GP mode. Because it's just grinding. Like, if you're not winning races because you need to upgrade your ships, you're just grinding GPs to earn money. So it's just the same racing over and over and over again. And you don't have, you know, like, different modes littered throughout the campaign to spice it up. And that's what Wipeout, the later game, you know, the HD era games did. But we'll have to think. I promised I was going to do Time Splitters, and I still want to get to that. But I've also been playing Hitman in VR, because Hitman 3 has PlayStation VR support and also lets you play the entire campaign. And I kind of want to check out, like, the first PlayStation 2 Hitman game, which is technically Hitman 2. Because the first one is, like, PC only, and apparently really hard to go back to. But we'll see how I feel. A lot of that also depends on, like, how long those games are. And there's some, like... But I want to hold off racing games until I can get Wipeout out the way and leave some time to breathe. I'm also tempted to check out the first PlayStation 2 Call of Duty, because we played the first PlayStation 2 Medal of Honor. And I'd like to kind of go back and forth to kind of see how the series... Well, I'll have to look at the release years, because I think, like, the first Call of Duty on PlayStation 2 is, like, a couple years after that. But I'll look into it. I'll look into it. But yeah, it's gonna be user picks for a while, and then also I want to do God of War 2 this year. That's why I did God of War 1 again. But yeah, as always, follow my socials. That's at Johnny Baghead on both Twitter and Blue Sky for going live. And if you just want general updates, those are going to be on Blue Sky at this point now. And if you want to catch up on any streams you missed, you can find those over at YouTube. The channel is Johnny Baghead VODS. Almost everything, even going back to the Scuff era, which are streams that I don't recommend watching for the most part, that's all on there. So, you know, if you're ever curious if there's like a game I've already streamed or like a weird peripheral like the Sindons, you can catch up on those streams there. But as always, you know, I'm over at the Bad Game Hall of Fame most days, every Monday, and then it's, you know, because one of our co-hosts, Chark, is going on break, it's gonna be every, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the next month or so. So you know, I'm always streaming. Just, you know, this channel is more for like fun, fuck around, fun stuff. But yeah, we'll end it here. But thank you everyone for joining. Again, shout out to Flame Wheel. I'm glad we finally got to chat. And again, I can't thank you enough for the Sindons. It's still wild to me that someone helped fund those, and Flame Wheel mostly funded them. Someone else did put a donation towards it, but Flame Wheel was the main donator for that. And still, massive legend. It's still wild to consider. But anyway, that's been it from me, from Johnny Baghead. Hope you enjoyed the show. And yeah, hopefully catch you either on, it'll be during the week or next weekend. I'll try and do something. See ya.